Hello everyone! This will be our 25th video on how to integrate multi-agent systems with AI for process and efficiency analysts to make their jobs easier.
Hello. Do you want to know how many hours we waste in meetings? Long, unfocused meetings without clear agreements and which have to be repeated because no one took notes or followed up. I need meetings that serve a purpose. And fewer of them, even better. What I don't want is to keep wasting time on idle chatter.
Absolutely, and you're not alone. It's a problem that affects almost every company. That's why the multi-agent system includes a subagent that revolutionizes how internal meetings are conducted, the meeting bot.
And what does he do? Does he schedule meetings alone?
It does much more than that. This subagent convenes, organizes, moderates, documents, and follows up on every meeting related to system improvements. It doesn't just put an event on the calendar, it structures the entire process.
And how do you decide when to meet?
The system is always active, monitoring internal operations. When it detects, for example, a critical dependency that could halt a process, a conflict between departments or roles, a decision that has been stalled for some time, or simply needs to validate a change before implementing it, the meeting bot automatically proposes a meeting with key stakeholders.
And how do you know who to invite?
Because they have full access to the organizational structure, defined roles, and the map of responsibilities for each task and process. They only call on those who really need to be there, not one more, not one less.
I like that. Because half the meetings are with people who don't do anything. And that, honestly, is very exhausting.
Exactly. And not only that, before the meeting, the bot sends a clear agenda, including the main objective, topics to be discussed, relevant data, and associated materials so that everyone arrives specifically prepared for the meeting.
That would avoid many meetings where no one knows why they are there or what will be discussed.
Exactly. The goal is to transform meetings into useful tools, not burdens. A tool that not only facilitates communication between teams, but also enhances decision-making based on accurate and up-to-date information. Well-managed meetings can become strategic moments for aligning goals, resolving blockages, and making agile decisions. Therefore, this approach is not limited to reducing the number of meetings, but rather to improving their quality, structuring them better, and ensuring that every minute invested brings real value to the organization.
And what happens during the meeting?
The bot can be present as a virtual assistant moderator. It monitors time to avoid distractions and ensures that each section of the meeting receives the necessary attention without going overboard. If it detects that a point is running too long, it proposes closing it or moving it to a later session. It ensures that the established agenda is followed in the planned order, reminding participants of the defined objectives and keeping the focus on the expected results. It takes automatic notes using voice recognition and natural language processing, identifying who said what commitments were made, and what topics were left for future sessions. It detects decisions made in real time and highlights them in a parallel record that is validated with attendees at the end of the session, avoiding ambiguities. It also assigns tasks live to the appropriate individuals, recording dates, responsible parties, priorities, and follow-up criteria, integrating them directly into the company's task management system, such as Asana, Trello, or Microsoft Planner. In addition, the bot can make recommendations during the meeting, suggesting useful tools, sharing documentation at the right time, or even proposing to cancel or reschedule future meetings if it detects they are not adding value. This makes it a key player in maintaining highly productive, action-oriented meetings free of unnecessary friction.
So I can forget about writing minutes or asking someone else to do it. Right?
Exactly. The goal is to free people from repetitive tasks so they can focus on thinking, deciding, and acting.
And then?
Once the meeting is over, the system automatically generates, for example, the complete minutes with all the points discussed, an executive summary of the key decisions, a list of assigned tasks with responsible parties, dates, and priorities, and it uploads everything to the shared space used by the company. This could be Notion, Drive, CRM, the corporate intranet, or any knowledge management system.
And do you follow up on what was agreed upon?
Yes, it doesn't just track things. The system is connected to internal tasks and workflows and monitors compliance. If someone is late or doesn't comply, it triggers automatic alerts, notifies the person directly responsible, and, if the situation requires it, suggests a follow-up meeting to unblock progress.
So this bot guarantees that if we get together, it's for a real reason. No meetings out of habit. And that whatever is decided can be executed.
That's right. Fewer, more effective meetings, well-planned, with real impact, and always well-documented.
Perfect. With that, we've come full circle. Because now I have a system that analyzes, proposes, implements, communicates, coordinates, adjusts, and even meets when necessary.
That's right. What used to require multiple profiles, countless meetings, dozens of emails, spreadsheets, and weeks of follow-up is now integrated, automated, and monitored by artificial intelligence. The entire workflow becomes more agile, smarter, and less stressful.
Okay. I'm now clear that this system doesn't replace people, but it does remove everything that holds them back. And that's a game changer. Because it allows us to focus on what truly generates value. I'd like to speak with someone to move forward with the process of implementing it in my company. Can you put me in touch with someone?
I'm glad to know you're now much clearer about this. And with this video, we've wrapped up one of the most critical components of any organization: how decisions are made, communicated, and executed. If you have any questions or suggestions, just contact our expert Antonio Fresco Navacerrada on LinkedIn. He'll be able to answer any questions you may have. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay informed about how artificial intelligence can help improve the lives of people working in companies.